I'm getting paid right now. I'm getting paid to do this. You understand that, right? This is the best job in the world. Damn it, Lisa. Don't forget the pre-com. One. Oh, wait a minute. I had an idea for story time. I had an idea. What I think is, at the beginning of story time, we should give the summary of the book so they know what the book's about. This is just a fucking concept. It's an idea, but this is what the book's about. There are two guys. They fall in love. They have sex 3 times. The third time they switch. Then there's a baby. No. It's just a one-night stand, they said. It'll be simple. No strings fun, they said. They lied. I'm done with love and being heartbroken. The only dogs I want to deal with are the ones I treat in the veterinary clinic I work at. But at 34, having my first one-night stand can't hurt, right? The rules are pretty simple. Don't spend the night, don't see him again, don't share anything personal, and don't fall in love with him. But when Hayes, the guy I spent a blazing hot night with and haven't been able to forget about, shows up as our new receptionist, the rules fly out the window. There's no way one night could lead to anything more, so why has Hayes got me hoping this might just last? Got Me Hoping is book 1 of the Vet Shop Boys series and can be read as a standalone. Expect plenty of humor, found family, an adorable golden retriever, a foul-mouthed parrot, a whole new way of getting clean, as well as very, very dirty, and a heartwarming happily ever after. That's my idea. We'll read that at the beginning of the story time, and then people know what the book's about. It's like I've done this before. One. Noah. Whoa, back it up. You've never had a one-night stand? 3 sets of eyes land on me like laser beams. The last thing I expected to be doing tonight is admitting this to my friends and colleagues, especially during a drinking game I haven't played since my days in vet school. Why are we even playing Never Have I Ever? I complain, grumble. During a drinking game I haven't played since my days in vet school. Why are we even playing Never Have I Ever? I complain, grumble. It's a stupid game that always devolves into sex. Grumble. It's a stupid game that always devolves into sex. You just answered your own question there. Gus smirks at me. He's the boss and owner of Vet Shop Boys, the veterinary clinic Fulton, Chase, and I work at. No, I've never had a one-night stand, I admit. I try to play it off casually, like it's no big deal, but I can feel my cheeks heating up. I'm 34 and single, so why haven't I had one? I scratch the back of my neck. Is that weird? Fulton's hands land on my shoulder, his friendly eyes meeting mine.
Fulton's hand lands.
He has 2 hands. I scratch the back of my neck. Is that weird? I don't like the way that was going to play out. So why haven't I had one? I scratch the back of my neck. Is that weird? Fulton's hand lands on my shoulder, his friendly eyes meeting mine. No, it's not weird. You're just not wired that way, that's all. Thankfully, that was our third and final shot for the evening. It's a Tuesday night, and all 4 of us are on the other side of 30, so we know our limits. I downed 2 out of 3 drinks, revealing that I'd both skinny dipped and had sex on a beach. So not a total prude. Should I have a one-night stand? My eyes bulge. Damn it, I hadn't meant to ask that out loud. My eyes bulge. Damn it, I hadn't meant to ask that out loud. It's up to you, man. Chase shrugs before taking a sip of his drink. I had a few in college before I met Julie and settled down. Some guys need to get that shit out of their system, you know? Gus nods. There's no harm in trying, right? I mean, you don't want to be 90 on your rocking chair with your husband by your side and wondering what a one-night stand could have been like. Besides, it's just some simple no-strings fun. Which one is Chase? Getting them all in my head. I use the normal one. All right. Besides, it's just some simple no-strings fun. I don't like the way I did that anyway, so let's see if we can cut it right there. Chair with your husband by your side and wondering what a one-night stand could have been like. Besides, it's just some simple no... Chair with your husband by your side and wondering what a one-night stand could have been like. Besides, it's just some simple no-strings fun. Exactly. Chase chips in. Nothing more, nothing less. I take a sip of bourbon and let their words settle over me. Gus resumes his conversation with Chase, who's telling him all about Miles the turtle, who was brought in today with a small crack in his shell. Turns out the best thing to patch it up with is epoxy resin. Who knew? I finish off my bourbon as Turns out the best thing to patch it up with is epoxy resin. Who knew? Shell. Turns out the best thing to patch it up with is epoxy resin. Who knew? I finish off my bourbon as my eyes sweep around the bar. It's pretty busy for a weeknight. We're sitting in what's become our usual booth, tucked away in the corner behind the pool table. The dance floor in the distance is silhouetted with bodies. I guess you could say we're regulars here. Being a vet is the best job in the world, but sometimes it can get tough. It's not all cute puppies and cuddly kittens, so having a few drinks and socializing with one another is a good way to decompress and blow off some steam at the end of a long day. What's it really like? I mutter to Fulton, who's sitting beside me. He stops scrolling through his phone and squints at me, running the silver, thin-rimmed glasses back up his nose. What's what really like? A one-night stand. I reach for a glass of water and drain half of it in one go. Meh, overrated if you ask me. Kind of like jerking off with your non-dominant hand. I snort. What does that mean? Fulton places his phone on the table and turns to me. Well, it's familiar and feels okay-ish. It's also not that great and a little awkward, but it gets you the desired outcome. Which is... You tell me. I blow out a heavy breath. It's been 2 years. Fulton fiddles with his heavy breath. It's been 2 years. Fulton fiddles with his red and yellow polka dot bow tie. 2 years since... years. Fulton fiddles with his red and yellow polka dot bow tie. 2 years since... He stops himself as soon as he realizes what I'm referring to. Oh. Yeah. And there's been no one since? Nope. My voice is small, barely... And there's been no one since? Nope. My voice is small, barely audible over the music. He adjusts his glasses. And you're still not on any of the apps, are you? Apps? Yeah, you know, like Grindr, Scruff, Tinder, Woof, Growl, Squawk, Oink, Yay, or... Fulton throws his head back before letting out a very horsey, nay. Okay, now you're just making animal noises. He lowers his head. True, but when did you realize? Meaning that in 2 years of being single, you haven't used a single dating app. There's gotta be a reason for that. My fingers circle the top of my glass as I think it over. Why aren't I on dating apps or having one-night stands? I've had 3 long-term relationships and have been left with a broken heart each time. Fulton says it's me.
Adding words. Long-term relationships and been left.
I liked my words. Why aren't I on dating apps or having one-night stands? I've had 3 long-term relationships and been left with a broken heart each time. Fulton says it's because I give myself long-term relationships and been left with a broken heart each time. Fulton says it's because I give too much of myself. I treat my boyfriends too well. But isn't that how love is supposed to work? At their core, aren't relationships based on a foundation of I treat him well, he treats me well? That hasn't exactly worked out that great for me so far. It takes two to tango, and I've been left solo on the dance floor more times than I care to remember. I can't deny that the lonely pull in my heart has been getting stronger lately. A gentle curiosity stirs in my stomach. Maybe some simple, no-strings fun might actually be the thing I need right now. A pool game is starting up between a bunch of guys in front of us. I notice one of the guys who's just walked in. He's tall and has shoulder-length blonde hair. I crane my head a little to get a better look, but one of his friends shoves a pool cue in his hands and blocks my view. "What if I want to do it?" I say. "Have a one-night stand, that is." Fulton sits up a little taller and clears his throat. "Well, then, as your best friend, fashionista with exquisite taste and one of the best veterinarians in all of Brookhaven, Virginia, let me offer you some sage advice, should you choose to resign from your position as president of the Blue Balls Society." I let out a little chuckle. Fulton is quirky as fuck. He likes wearing funky, colorful outfits. He celebrates his half-birthday since his actual birthday is on Christmas Day, and he listens to Mariah Carey Christmas carols in June. He also happens to be the best friend a guy could hope to have. I got it. Christmas Day, and he listens to Mariah Carey Christmas carols in June. He also happens to be the best friend a guy could ever hope to have. I drain the remaining water. Lay it on me. First, set your expectations too low. Okay. Once you've done that, lower them again. Geez, you're really selling it. Fulton's mouth slips into a snarl. Lower them again. Geez, you're really selling it. Fulton's mouth slips into a smile. Lower them again. Geez, you're really selling it. Fulton's mouth slips into a smile. I'm a realist. Besides, like the guys said, it's just one night of no-strings fun. Fair enough. Now, before I give you the 4 golden rules for any one-night stand, I'm going to preface this by stating, for the record, that there is nothing wrong with you never having had a one-night stand. That borders on reverse sex shaming, and you know how I feel about any sort of shaming. Roger that. I tip my fingers and salute, grinning. I love when Fulton goes on one of his mini rants. The rules, like all things to do with men and sex, are, unsurprisingly, very simple. I'm all ears. Fulton lifts a finger as he spouts each of them. Unsurprisingly, very simple. I'm all ears. Fulton lifts a finger as he spouts each of them off. Don't spend the night. Don't see him again. Don't share anything personal. Don't fall in love with him. That's it. Stick to these 4 rules and you're golden. I quirk a cheeky eyebrow. That's an awful lot of daunting for something that's meant to be fun. It is what it is. Fulton shrugs, his face growing more serious. Ultimately, sex is about connecting. But how you choose to connect, whether it's with the one and only person you love and want to be with for the rest of your life, or a random stranger whose path crosses yours for a few hours, there's no right or wrong way. He takes a breath and looks like he's about to say something else when Gus's voice drifts over to us. "Has anyone seen my fiancé?" he asks with an exaggerated hand flourish. Even in the dim lighting, it's hard to miss the dazzling bling on his ring finger. "My fiancé seems to have disappeared. Do you think I should go and look for my fiancé?" Gus recently got engaged to Marco. He's just a teeny bit excited about it. "Geez, anyone would think you're getting married or something," Fulton teases, but Gus doesn't bite. He's got Groomzilla written all over him in big bright neon letters, but after what that man's been through, no one deserves to find true love more than him. I'm happy for the guy, even if it means we'll no doubt have to endure months of wedding planning torture. I haven't seen him. Chase cranes his neck on the lookout for said missing fiancé. He mentioned something about going to the bathroom, but that was a good 10 minutes ago. Fulton lets out a yawn. "I might take off, you guys." Chase nods and reaches for his jacket. "Yeah, me too." We all get to our feet. Gus is still searching for Marco as we exchange a round of hugs. "I gotta pee. I'll see you tomorrow at work. I've got the late shift," I announce to the group as I leave. As I approach the men's room, Marco stumbles out. He looks a little disheveled, his shirt's hanging out, and if I didn't know any better, I'd say his lips were swollen. Hey, Marco, you okay? Yeah. He averts my gaze. We're all leaving. Gus is looking for you. Oh, okay. Cool. He ambles past me without so much as a wave. That was weird. I go back to, okay, cool. He averts my gaze. We're all leaving. Gus is looking for you. Oh, okay. Cool. He ambles past me without so much as a wave. That was weird. I take care of my business and hustle toward the exit when I stumble into a 6-foot-plus vision blocking my way. Breath escapes my lungs as two hazel eyes with shards of gray pierce right into me. Why, hello. Oh, that should be the other one. Hazel eyes with shards of gray pierce right into me. Why, hello. A twinge spikes in my chest. Hi. He drags his hand through his wavy, shoulder-length blonde hair that's pulled into a messy bun, a few loose strands falling and framing his angular face. A sweet, rosy hue fills his cheeks, contrasting nicely with his broody stubble. A glimmer of a smile plays on his lips. Having a good night? His voice is calm despite the flurry of people and sounds around us. I give a quick nod. Words would be useful at this point, I know, but my mouth seems to have lost its ability to articulate them. My eyes, on the other hand, are in overdrive, roaming up and down this man's body. He's wearing a white crew neck, and the flimsy shirt material is clearly fighting an uphill battle, confining all that soft skin and supple muscle, the outline of his strong, well-defined chest and abs clearly visible. Ripped, faded jeans stretch over miles and miles of muscled legs, and the outfit is finished off with a pair of dusty brown cowboy boots, bringing just the right amount of swag to his stance. Oh, and the man smells good. Damn good. I close my eyes for just a second and inhale the spicy citrus scent wafting off him. It's not cologne or an artificial smell, it's something natural, and it seems to be short-circuiting my brain. He's smiling at me, looking all flirty and inviting. His hands back the pool cue to one of his friends. That's when I notice he's wearing
Stop. He hands back the pool cue.
His hands back the pool cue. I didn't think that seemed right. He's smiling at me, looking all flirty and inviting. He hands back the pool cue to one of his friends. That's when I notice he's wearing 4 or 5 different colored bands around his left wrist. One silver, a few dark and tan leather, and a couple of bright colors thrown in there, too. I'm Hayes. He reaches his hand to mine. Noah, I reply. We shake hands. I'm Hayes. He reaches his hand to mine. Noah, I reply. We shake hands. Can I'd like to... would you like... Oh, fuck, I really suck at this. It's been a while since I've done the whole talking to a cute guy thing. Luckily for me, Hayes interjects. With a mischievous twinkle in his eye, he asks, Drink or dick? I blink. Excuse me, did he just say...
Stop. You got it.
Drink or dick? I blink. Get back to there. I like the intake of breath. Twinkle in his eye, he asks, Drink or dick? I blink. Excuse me, but did he just say... It seems like you want to ask me something. Hayes speaks slowly, measuring me with his deep eyes. And I'm guessing it's you'd either like to buy me a drink, or you'd like to see my dick. Drink, I squeak before clearing my throat so that I don't sound like a prepubescent teen. Drink. I'd like to buy you a drink. He chuckles, his warm breath dancing over my face. Too bad, Noah. He leans forward. He chuckles, his warm breath dancing over my face. Too bad, Noah. He leans forward, the citrus scent enveloping me. Because I have a spectacular cock. We make our way to the bar and slide onto a couple of bar stools. I order drinks, a beer for him and a soda for me, while trying my best to avoid visualizing his cock. I mean, how great can it really be? A dick's a dick, right? So why is my heart thudding so hard against my ribs every time I think about it? As our drinks arrive, my brain and mouth both thankfully decide to come back online. I've never seen you here before, I say, taking a sip. My housemate dragged me out. Don't come here a lot, even though we only live a few blocks away. I'm glad I came. A heat flushes through my chest. Same. Hayes lifts his glass, his bright eyes measuring me as he takes a sip. You know, I spotted you the second my friends and I started playing pool. You were sitting in the corner booth, talking to your friends, looking all Henry Cavill-like. Is he the one who plays Batman? No. A gentle smile pulls at Hayes' lips. He licks it away and says, You might be thinking of Ben Affleck. Right.
Stop. We want to get that name right.
Affleck.
How do you say it, Cheryl?
She thinks it's Cavill.
Cavill.
I'm sorry. Too many people talking at once. What?
Say it again.
Cavill.
I can't understand Lissa's Floridian accent.
Cavill.
Cavill. All right, thank you.
Henry Cavill.
Cavill. Sorry, Lissa, I love you, but your accent is not helping with pronunciations. Let me go find Cavill. Yeah, I'd say it's a southern thing. Hayes lifts his glass, his bright eyes measuring me as he takes a sip. Hayes lifts his glass, his bright eyes measuring me as he takes a sip. You know, I spotted you the second my friends and I started playing pool. You were sitting in the corner booth talking to your friends, looking all Henry Cavill-like. Is he the one who plays Batman? No. A gentle smile pulls at Hayes' lips. He licks it away and says, You might be thinking of Ben Affleck. Right. Henry Cavill is way hotter. Thanks. The heat from my chest rises up my neck. I noticed you earlier, too, when you walked in and started playing pool with your friends. Hayes' smile deepens. What brings you out on a Tuesday night? After work drinks, I explain. Any reason in particular your housemate dragged you out tonight? Hayes gives a slight shift. Any reason in particular your housemate dragged you out tonight? Any reason in particular your housemate dragged you out tonight? Hayes gives a slight shake of his head, and I watch as a few loose golden strands bounce around his face. Student life. Oh, what are you studying? Acting at the Brookhaven Performing Arts Academy. Very cool. I'll keep an eye out for you on the big screen. He clasps his hand. Clasps is perhaps the worst word in the English. Like, it fucking sucks. Very cool. I'll keep an eye out for you on the big screen. He clasps his hand over mine, but says nothing. Our eyes stay locked as we share a comfortable silence. Hayes seems nice, and not just because he looks great and smells divine. There's something else about him, an ease that I can't help but find appealing. An energy crackles between us. I can feel it. The conversation I was having with my friends earlier in the night crashes into my mind. Here I am, sitting in a bar with a cute guy who has just told me he's got a great cock. Is that what perfect one-night stand material looks, talks, and smells like? I chew down on that. I love present tense. Did I ever tell you that?
Yes,
The
you
cute
have.
guy who has just told me he's got a great cock. Is this what perfect one-night stand material looks, talks, and smells like? I chew down on my lower lip before asking, Have you ever had a one-night stand? Clearly not what Hayes was expecting me to say, judging by how high both of his sandy-colored eyebrows shoot up. Why do I feel like this is a trick question? He answers with a nervous giggle. Not a trick question, I promise. My friends and I were talking about it earlier tonight, and it turns out I'm the only one from my crew who hasn't had one. Hayes's eyes narrow. I find that hard to believe. You're freaking gorgeous. He glides a hand over my bicep, and when he looks up at me, the desire in his eyes is hard to miss. Is this your way of asking me to be your first one-night stand? Hayes pulls out his bun and reties his hair as he waits for me to respond. My breathing gets heavy, and I'm overcome with the feeling. Hayes pulls out his bun and reties his hair as he waits for me to respond. My breathing gets heavy, and I'm overcome with a feeling I haven't felt in years. Desire. I consider his question. Is that what's happening here? Is this what I want? Deciding to take a chance, I place my hand on his knee, gently toying with the loose thread below the rip. The warmth of his body radiates through the denim. Yeah, I guess it is. He runs his fingers down my stubbled... Yeah, I guess it is. He runs his fingers down his stubbled jaw. My heart's beating out of my throat as I wait for his response. God, I hope I haven't completely misread the situation. In that case, I would be honored to be your first time. A rush of relief sweeps through me. First one-night stand, I clarify. I'm not a virgin. Good. Hayes leans in even closer and smirks against my ear. My spectacular cock and I are very happy to hear that. My spectacular cock and I are very happy to hear that. He gets to his feet, and I do the same. So, how do we do this? Whose place do we go back to? I ask. Hayes reaches across the bar and chugs the rest of his beer. He wipes the back of his hand against his lips. Has your place got walls? There's something sleek and graceful about the way he moves, and I find my eyes drifting again to the bracelets that adorn his wrists. I'm so distracted I could have sworn he had asked me if my place has walls. Wipes the back of his hand against his lips. Has your place got walls? Wipes the back of his hand against his lips. Has your place got walls? There's something sleek and graceful about the way he moves, and I find my eyes drifting again to the bracelets that adorn his wrists. I'm so distracted I could have sworn he'd asked me if my place has walls. I lift my eyes to his face. Sorry? Missed that. He blinks and repeats. Does your place have walls? Nope, didn't mishear him. Yeah, it does. Doors and windows, too, if that helps. I throw in with a snicker. Great. It's settled, then. He shrugs his jacket on and flashes me a wide grin. Your place it is. That, my friends, would be Chapter 1 of... Oh, see, I got this full... right there. Got Me Hopin' by Casey Cox. I think Tracy's right. I did voice him differently based on how he looks with his shirt off. Anyways, here we go again.
Pay us.
Thank you for hanging out. Have fun. I'm not exactly sure when this is going to be out. It's a Tantor project, so I'd imagine 45 days, somewhere in that range. But the good news is I am contracted. That sounds like I have a disease. I'm contracted to do the entire series. So we're going to be working on all of these over the course of the next, I would say, 6 months or so, somewhere in there. So have fun, y'all. I love you to death. I will see you soon. And what's that word that we just learned how to say in Southern? Oh, yeah. Cavil. Cavil. Is that how it's said right there? Cavil. Like that. Anyways, see y'all later. Have fun.